friends. It is day 2 in England in August of 2022. Today we had to be at Burghley House for about 10:30 a.m. as these were timed tickets. Again, my word. They're making the houses very organized with having time tickets, but it definitely takes the leisureliness out of turning up when you want to out of the day. All in all, it wasn't that bad though, as instead of driving from York to Burghley as we normally would, we were only 30 minutes away at Easton Gatehouse, which you saw pictures of already. Burghley is one of the largest and grandest surviving houses of the 16th century and is an example of the great Elizabethan prodigy houses. Built by William Cecil, Lord High Treasurer to Queen Elizabeth I between 1555 and 1587, William Cecil was the first Baron of Burghley, and subsequent owners of the house have made their own marks on the home. The 5th Earl in the 17th century put the arched windows on the south front to enclose the gallery and possibly repair damage caused during the Civil War when Cromwell's forces subjected the house to a brief bombardment. Then the 9th Earl, who inherited in 1754, employed Lancelot Capability Brown to modernize the gardens and surrounding parkland along with certain aspects of the house. Brown leveled the roofline elevation of the south front, constructed extensive stables, fashioned the orangery, which is now a little cafe and tea room overlooking the water lily pond. And he also constructed a Gothic garden summer house, which I don't think I have a picture of. He also demolished the single-story northwest wing to open up the north courtyard and to give views of the newly planted parkland. We had a lovely wander through Burghley House. You always start off in the kitchens at Burghley House, followed by the bell room, the chapel, the snooker table, along the painted gallery, past Princess Victoria's little camper bed that she slept in while she was there with her mother, and then along to the estate rooms where Queen Victoria and Prince Albert later stayed. Then on to the Heavenly Gallery painted room, and that opens up to the Hell's Staircase. All told, it took the painter about 11 years to complete these, I believe, 3 rooms he painted. They are spectacular. The columns are painted onto the walls, and it looks like you could just reach out and touch marble, but they are 2D painted to look 3D, which beautiful. Anyways, along from the Hell's Staircase is the Great Hall, and there's a beautiful little sketch in the Great Hall of a dinner party attended by Queen Victoria and Prince Albert. So lovely. And finally, the orangery for a snack, and then into the gardens. Burghley's gardens were always rather fun, as it's a bit more of a garden water pad play area for kiddies, but currently everything in the UK is looking rather dry as it's been so warm, and I think either a water ban has been introduced or they're introducing one. I'm not too sure, but the lovely green is definitely dwindling here at Burghley. So anyways, it is what it is. It's quite sad, and they are busy conserving water in the garden, so it's not quite so much fun to go through as there is a lesser chance of getting spritzed with water as you go through. Also, the moose! Look! I saw a moose at Burghley. I went all the way to Newfoundland excited to see a moose, and there's a moose in the kitchen at Burghley. Absolutely insane. Anyways, admire the copper jelly molds and all that fun things. I'll be back in a second. as we were leaving Burley Park, we came across this beautiful set of fallow deer racks intact, looking absolutely stunning. And I believe these are black deer along with the fallow deer. I've never heard of a black deer. Uh, yeah, so apparently there are black deer now, fallow deer, and red deer. All the things we've learned. Also, I realize that there is like a blurry schmutzy bit on the GoPro driving camera. I fixed that, and hopefully it won't happen again, and I will realize not to do it again, but I think a thumb had got on it, so I do apologize that there is a schmutzy thumbprint on a lot of the driving. I'm really sorry. It's just a one-woman operation, this. It's not exactly high-tech. Spielberg is not involved at all. Anyways, enjoy. I'll see you at Rockingham Castle, which is our next stop. bit of a to-do finding Rockingham Castle. Sally Satnav took us to a gate that was locked, and then she told us to stay right at the fork. So we went right at the fork, and then one of the gatekeepers said no, we were supposed to go left, and if we'd been a man, we wouldn't have listened to silly Sally Satnav, because men don't listen to women drivers. Let's say men don't listen to women drivers, not just men don't listen to women in general. Let's put it that way. Anyways, we were thoroughly mocked for our listening to Sally Satnav. Anyways, the earliest records of Rockingham Castle date back to 1066 and the Domesday Book, held by the Saxon Lord Bovey. The Roman colonizers established a mining community, and remains of Roman coins and tiles, etc., have been found on the north side of Castle. William the Conqueror set about constructing a large number of stone castles, and Rockingham became a base for administration and hunting. The castle originally followed a standard Norman pattern with an outer bailey, curtain wall, square towers, and a stone keep. The round towers that you saw earlier at the front were added between 1276 and 1291 by Edward I and replaced the original square towers. Edward was the last king to visit Rockingham as a royal residence in 1375, and in 1541 King Henry VIII visited with Catherine Howard and was very surprised at how dilapidated the castle was, and in 1544 he leased Rockingham to Edward Watson. Edward Watson moved into a lodge on the parkland and set about converting the medieval castle into a Tudor residence, taking out the medieval long gallery room, which would have been open to the air, turning it into a gallery room, putting bedrooms above, etc. In 1836, the new owner, Richard Watson, modernized the castle with architect Anthony Salvin. He added the flag tower, along with a few other modifications. Richard and his wife were great friends of Charles Dickens, who visited Rockingham on 5 different occasions, and it is the basis of his book, Bleak House, from what we understand. We weren't allowed to take pictures inside of the castle, as it is still lived in by the family. In 1999, Sir Michael Coombe Seymour handed the castle and estate over to his eldest son, James, who lives here with his wife and 3 children. So that's why there's no pictures of the interior. It was then time to head back to Easton. We stopped at something or other to get some dinner, and we headed back to Easton for our dinner. And I will see you, friends, tomorrow. Bye!